Tino Rangatiratanga is a Maori language term that has recently been suggested to possibly mean absolute sovereignty. It is also the name of a flag that some Maori involved in contesting the classical translation identify with. It appears in the Maori version of the Treaty of Waitangi, signed by the British Crown and Māori chiefs in 1840. It has become one of the most contentious phrases in retrospective analyses of the treaty, amid debate surrounding the obligations agreed to by each of the over 500 signatories. The phrase features in current historical and political discourse on race relations in New Zealand, and is widely used by Maori advocacy groups. A flag based on Tino Rangatiratanga was designed in 1990. Which has now become accepted as a national flag for Maori groups across New Zealand. Origins and etymology. A rangatira is a chief. The nominalizing suffix tanga makes the word an abstract noun referring to the situation, presumably the present, and the addition of the intensifier tino in this context means the phrase can be translated as the chief here now, the intention of which was to emphasize to achieve the Queen's intention to give the complete control according to them. The term's closest English translation is "You are the chief now and forevermore," although many also refer to it as self-determination, autonomy, or Maori independence. Tino, essentially, self-reality. Rangatiratanga, evidence of breeding and greatness. The term is traditionally understood to mean full chieftainship. There are those who believe that accrediting sovereignty to the word Rangatiratanga is a long bow to draw. The basis of such opposition is on two separate levels. The writers of the treaty used the word kawanatanga in the Maori version when referring to sovereignty. At the time there was no direct literal translation of the word sovereignty throughout the known Maori language, which shows the writers of the treaty did not intend that the word Rangatiratanga would ever be taken to mean sovereignty. This is self-evidenced by the fact that the treaty was translated from English into Maori. There have been many attempts over the years to derail this simple logical conclusion by accusing the writers of the treaty of acting deceitfully. On the second level, the word kawanatanga, although having no direct literal translation at the time, was widely in use and had at least been understood by the Confederation of Tribes as they had used it in an earlier document, the Declaration of Independence. Therefore it is not unreasonable to assume that the meaning of this word would have been widely distributed to the chief that eventually signed the treaty. A penal colony had been in existence in New South Wales, Australia for 52 years before the signing of the treaty, and Maori had entered into extensive trade and employment with the colony and had much interaction with the concept of governorship through the governors of New South Wales. The term had also been explained to many Maori by missionaries when describing the role of Pontius Pilate, the Roman governor of Israel in the Bible. The Treaty of Waitangi. The emphasis on Tino Rangatiratanga draws from an inconsistency arising between Article 1 and Article 2 of the Treaty of Waitangi. In the English text of Article 1 of the treaty, the Maori signatories cede their sovereignty to the British Crown. For the Maori text, since there was no direct Maori translation for the idea, the missionary neologism kawanatanga was used to represent the concept of sovereignty. This word was based on the transliteration kawana, which had been invented by Bible translators to explain Pontius Pilate's authority in Judea. Kawana was also used prior to 1840 to describe the governor of New South Wales. In the English text of Article 2 of the treaty, signatories are assured that the full, exclusive and undisturbed possession of the lands and estates, forests, fisheries and other properties would remain for so long as they chose. In the Maori text, signatories are assured that the Tino Rangatiratanga will remain undisturbed over the lands, kāinga and other taonga. based on the Maori text alone. In Article 1 the signatories appear to be ceding Waitangi governorship, while in Article 2 the signatories have promised that the Tino Rangatiratanga, a highest chieftainship, would remain undisturbed. This apparent inconsistency has led to much debate as to whether the Maori signatories intended to cede their sovereignty to the British Crown at all. Aside from the legal controversy of sovereignty versus Waitangi, many Maori see the treaty as a charter to choose their own way of life within the framework of law, but free of external interference in Tauranga such as language and culture. Kina tangata katoa o Nutarani, all the people of New Zealand. The Maori Treaty Article 2 has the Queen making these promises and guarantees to three parties, the last of which seems to have been ignorant in debates about the meaning of the treaty. The whole sentence reads, Ko te Queen o Ingarani ka wakarai kina rangitira kina hapu kina tangata katoa o Nutarani te Tino Rangatiratanga o ratu wenu o ratu kaing amio ratu taronga katoa. Queen o Ingarani ka wakarai and whakaai means the Queen of England promises to guarantee. Kina Rangatira means to the Maori chiefs. Kina Hapu means to the tribe. Kina Tangata katoa o Nutarani means to all the people of New Zealand. To all the people of New Zealand has had very little discussion in the public debate about the treaty, yet a careful reading of the treaty in Te Reo Maori will find that when the treaty wishes to be specific, it is. In the opening paragraph the words Ngā Tangata Maori o Nutarani are used, meaning all the Maori people of New Zealand. When it seeks to make a distinction between Maori and whites, it says so. Te tangata Maori ki te Pakeha flag. The Tino Rangatiratanga flag is often referred to as the Maori flag, one which can be used to represent all Maori. Hiraina Marsden, Jan Smith and Linda Munn designed this flag in 1990. It uses black, white and red as national colours of New Zealand. The design of the flag references the Maori creation myth of Rangi and Papa, suggesting the sky, the earth, and the physical realm of light and being which was created when they were separated. The official recognition of the Tino Rangatiratanga flag resulted from a campaign by Indigenous rights advocacy group Te Ata Tino Toa. The group applied for the Tino Rangatiratanga flag to fly on the Auckland Harbour Bridge on Waitangi Day. Transit NZ, then the government agency responsible for the bridge, declined on the basis that the flag did not represent a country recognized by the United Nations. After considerable debate in the public arena, the group adopted a diversity of tactics to raise awareness of the issues, including lobbying Transit NZ and Parliament, submissions to the Human Rights Commission, and holding an annual Fly the Flag competition. To more direct protest actions including bungee jumping off the harbour bridge, traffic jamming the harbour bridge, and flying the largest Tino Rangatiratanga flag ever made over the harbour bridge. Key organisers of the campaign included Tia Tauriri, Gareth Seymour and Tina Tuiono. On the 14th of December 2009, Prime Minister John Key and Maori Affairs Minister Peter Sharples announced that the Maori Tino Rangatiratanga flag was chosen to fly from the Auckland Harbour Bridge and other official buildings on Waitangi Day. The announcement followed a Maori party-led promotion and series of hui on which Maori flag should fly from the bridge. 1,200 submissions were received, with 80% of participants in favour of the Tino Rangatiratanga flag as the preferred Maori flag. Key said the Maori flag would not replace the New Zealand flag but would fly alongside it to recognise the partnership the Crown and Maori entered into when signing the Treaty of Waitangi. No changes are being made to the status of the New Zealand flag. Mistake said, Monarchy New Zealand said the move would be potentially divisive, and AUT University Dr. Paul Munn was critical of the move. Sharples said the Maori flag was a simple way to recognize the status of Maori as tangata whenua. However, the New Zealand flag remains the symbol of our nation, and there is no intention to change this, nor to diminish the status of our national flag. The Ministry of Culture and Heritage published guidelines describing the appropriate way to fly the Maori flag in relation to the New Zealand flag.